On July 10, 2005, the world premiere of one of Tim Burton's most successful films took place, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The box office for this second adaptation of Roald Dahl's novel nearly tripled the film's budget. Burton's film is remembered for its outstanding cast, captivating story, and fairy tale-like sets, crafted by one of the best production designers in Hollywood. And I'm here to tell you how Tim Burton's magical world was built. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is based on the book of the same name, published in 1964. The author of the tale is Roald Dahl. The first screen adaptation appeared in 1971, starring Gene Wilder and Peter Ostrom. The story also made its way into the digital world. A video game with a similar name became quite popular. The characters in the game were modeled after the actors from the newer film adaptation. As a little teaser, during the making of the film, 1,850 edible chocolate bar props were created. 781,927 liters of fake chocolate were produced, and 50 squirrels were trained. But for now, let's talk about the cast. When preparing for the role, Johnny Depp was inspired by Queen's music video, I'm Going Slightly Mad. Another influence for Wonka's character was millionaire Howard Hughes. Depp suggested borrowing part of the wardrobe from Gene Wilder. The modern Willy ended up with a top hat and a burgundy coat. This was the fourth collaboration between Depp and Burton. The president of the studio working on the film personally recommended casting Johnny in the lead role. Freddie Highmore landed the role in Burton's film thanks to Depp's support. They had previously worked together on Finding Neverland, and Depp was impressed by the young actor's talent. The role of the kind, honest boy earned Freddie the Satellite Award and the Critics' Choice Award. He later returned to the character, voicing Charlie in the video game. Philip Wiegratz was born and raised in Colbitz. After filming Wrapped, he returned home and later enrolled in college in the U.S. His filmography includes 10 character roles. He's worked on projects in both the U.S. and Germany. To make Augustus appear more cartoonish, Philip was fitted with a special prosthetic to enlarge his belly. Anna Sofia Robb is an actress from Sweden. After the film's release, she disappeared from the public eye for a while. She is now studying at a theater school. On the set of the Mad Candy Maker story, she became friends with Anna Sofia Robb. The two girls are still in touch. Julia's last known film role was in Dolphin Tale 2. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was the second film role for young actor Jordan Fry. Before this, he had a small part in Raising Flag. In 2012, he appeared in Gone. Jordan is also passionate about music and has tried voice acting for animated films. The film features 165 Oompa Loompas, but all of them were played by a single actor. Deep Roy had to repeat the same movements countless times to create a perfect picture. For the role, he trained in yoga, dance, and learned several musical instruments. His character's image even became a meme on social media. Although visual effects technology was already quite advanced in 2005, the director wanted the actors to fully immerse themselves in Wonka's incredible world, to actually be able to touch it. That's why he insisted on minimizing the use of computer graphics. All sets were built over 8 weeks at the famous Pinewood Studios in England, the same studios where the Harry Potter films and many others were shot. A film's production designer and the art department are true illusionists. They have a whole arsenal of tricks to avoid building massive, heavy sets unless absolutely necessary. One of the most common techniques used in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was the use of models. The town where Charlie lives was filmed using composite shots. Wide shots featured a huge, detailed model painted by a team of artists. To keep the quality of detail high, the model was built so large it filled an entire soundstage, and it was filmed using a crane, the same technique later used for the wide shots of Hogwarts in the early Harry Potter films. Later, the castle model was digitized and replaced with a 3D model in subsequent films. Still, the chocolate room, with its green hills, candy trees, and chocolate waterfall, was the largest set built for the movie.
To create the chocolate river, 781,928 liters of fake chocolate were used, and the candies and caramel on the trees were made from real sweets. The chocolate was created using a fairly simple method, partly with a special liquid compound called methyl cellulose, thickened with a substance called naturso and colored to a rich brown. Methyl cellulose is a powder that, when dissolved in water, becomes viscous. It's often used in film to create slime, oil, or blood. For the wide shots and flowing chocolate, CGI was used. In fact, the team at MPC spent 6 months developing the simulation. Melted chocolate doesn't always look very appealing, so they spent months finding the right balance between visual appeal and realism. The most iconic prop in the film, the Wonka bars, were made by Nestle. A total of 110,000 bars were created for the film, of which 1,850 were edible. You can even spot the wrappers in Charlie's bedroom. Only 4 hang on his wall, a subtle reminder of his family's poverty. The film includes some hidden references as well. In the TV room, Willy Wonka demonstrates how to shrink a chocolate bar and transmit it to children. The scene shows a giant chocolate bar being teleported into the screen where monkeys gather around. This is a direct visual homage to 2001: A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. And the toothpaste brand where Charlie's father works? It's called Smilex, a nod to Batman 1989, also directed by Tim Burton. In that film, Smilex is the name of a product created by the Joker. 40 squirrels were trained for the scene in which they attack Veruca Salt. Each squirrel was filmed separately because they couldn't work together at all, and they needed many takes. Animatronic squirrels were also used, though sparingly. All animatronics for the film were made by Neil Scanlon, the same artist behind the dinosaurs in Jurassic World and aliens in Star Wars. Real squirrels couldn't do complex motions like tapping and listening to a nut before tossing it over their shoulder, so more than 70 CGI squirt shots were created by MPC. Aside from the main characters, the Oompa Loompas, the hard-working candy factory staff, play a huge role in the story. If you felt like they were all the same person, you were absolutely right. There are 165 Loompas in the movie, and all of them were played by Deep Roy. In an interview, Deep Roy said that when Tim Burton first pitched him the role, he was told he'd be playing 5 Oompa Loompas. But 5 quickly became 165, and they weren't computerized. Each character's movements and expressions were filmed separately over the course of 6 months, digitally duplicated and composited together during editing. Deep took dance and Pilates lessons to stay nimble and perform all the musical numbers at full energy. Seeing how hard Deep worked, Burton agreed to digitally replace some of the Oompa Loompas. Those that appear smaller than a quarter of the screen were CGI. Others in the background were animatronic copies of the actor. In fact, dozens of puppets were made for filming. These puppets sailed on the big pink boat, too. Each puppet had its own mechanical system to make it move, controlled remotely via joystick. All of them had Deep Roy's face. The artists even tried to replicate his facial expressions as accurately as possible to make them indistinguishable from the real actor. According to the crew, puppets were chosen over digital effects to make the film feel more tangible and real. For comparison, the 1971 version's director, Mel Stewart, cast 10 little people to play the Oompa Loompas. Interestingly, Gene Wilder, who played Willy Wonka in the original film, accused the 2005 team of simply remaking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for money. But Johnny Depp defended the project, saying it wasn't a remake, it was a new adaptation of the book. And that's exactly what it is. Tim Burton and production designer Alex McDowell created a bright, magical world that every child dreams of, and adults do. A place where you can eat candy straight from the trees, drink from chocolate rivers, and send sweets through a TV screen. But more than anything, this story captures the warmth and humanity that makes it unforgettable. And if you're watching this video, then the film clearly meant something to you. That's all from me. I hope I managed to convey the magical atmosphere that went into making this masterpiece.
If I did, leave a like and tell me in the comments how you felt the first time you saw this film. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and be sure to check out my playlist on how movies are made. There's so much more to discover. See you soon.